Hi friends, welcome to another Bite-Sized Book Chats. I'm Miss Alejandra. Today we're going to talk about 3 books, and our topic is going to be tough stuff. So just know that while these books are great and I love them and I think that they have a lot of value to the reader, they may contain topics that are sensitive to some readers, so just keep that in mind. The first book is Goodbye Days by Jeff Zentner. And this is a book about a guy who loses his 3 best friends in a car crash. They were texting while driving, and he actually sent the text that his friend read while he was driving, and because of that he faces a lot of repercussions. People either blaming his friend for looking at his phone while driving, or blaming him for sending the text knowing that his friends were driving somewhere. And he's kind of dealing with the guilt of feeling like maybe he did contribute to their death, maybe he didn't, and facing the backlash that comes with that at school. It's a very great novel. It's worth a read, and it really does make you think about, the small things that you do every day that you don't really realize could actually end up hurting somebody. So I think this is a great read if you want to take the time to stop and think about the things that maybe you take for granted every day, and read how even that might change somebody's life one day. The next book we're going to be talking about is Heroin by Minnie Mcginnis. So in this book, our main character, Mickey, is in a car crash as well. She's driving along with her friend. They're in a car crash. She ends up breaking her leg and I believe part of her hip, and she needs surgery. And then after the surgery, she's given some pretty strong medicine, pain medicine, to make sure that she feels okay afterwards, and then she starts to rely on it more and more and more as days go on. A lot of that has to do with her just wanting to get back into shape to be able to play softball when she goes back to school. It's her senior year. She doesn't want to miss her last year of softball in high school, and she kind of does whatever she feels she needs to be able to play her last year, and that's why unfortunately she ends up taking too much of one medicine and she starts to depend on it. And that kind of shows the way this book does a great job, I think, of explaining the ways in which it could happen to anybody. She doesn't really acknowledge herself as somebody that needs these pain medicine or needs anything. She just sees it as her doing what she needs to do great in school and to do great in her sports. And I think it's an important topic to touch on, and it's an important thing to read about, and it really does make you sympathetic for Mickey in a way that before I read this novel, I hadn't really thought about. So I recommend this. I think it's a great read. And my last book, and this is probably my favorite book in the pile, is Unpregnant by Hendricks and Ted Kaplan. So in this book, our main character is a straight-A student. She's going to a great university. It's her senior year of high school. She's doing great. She has an amazing boyfriend, amazing friends. She's living her perfect life, and then she finds out that she's pregnant. And she needs to decide what she wants to do. She needs to decide the right role for her in her life and in her future. And she decides that she doesn't want the baby. She doesn't want this pregnancy. So then she needs to find a place to have a procedure done so that she doesn't have the baby, and she doesn't want her parents to know. She is her parents' star child. They think really highly of her, and she thinks that they won't understand and that her friends won't understand if she asks anybody for help. And the nearest place that she can do something like that is 1,000 miles away, almost 1,000 miles away. And she reaches out to a very, very, very old friend, and they go on this super long road trip to try and get her what she needs. And this book shows all the things that she has to do just to maintain her anonymity and be able to make the choice that she needs for her life. And along the way, she discovers some things about her old best friend, who she doesn't really like anymore. She also discovers some things about herself and just about things that she had never had to think about and what she finds most important in her life. And this is actually, while it covers a difficult topic, I would say that this is the funniest book of these 3, which are all, again, tough. These are all tough things to talk about, but this one's actually very funny. I believe Ted Kaplan is a sitcom writer, so it does have that funny twist. So if you want something that's a little lighter hearted and still touching on something deep that really makes you think about some of these issues that maybe you've never thought about before, then I think Unpregnant is a great place to start. So I know that those three were all very difficult topics to cover. They are tough reads for some readers, but I think they're worth it in the end. I think putting in the effort to get through these is really rewarding because they're all great stories. They're great books. If you listen to any of these on audiobook, then I really enjoy them in that format as well. So I hope you will too. Thanks so much. Bye guys.